Today we're going to look at the wonderful subject of divine appointments. I'm quite sure all of you at some time or other have experienced a divine appointment, and the Lord wants us to experience them regularly. There is no better way of seeing people come to know the Lord apart from the great divine appointments that he makes. You remember how Jesus in John chapter 4 went towards Samaria? It says he must go to Samaria. If you know anything about the history of those days, that was the one area that the Jews did not go. They would walk all the way round. They would avoid going through Samaria because the Jews hated the Samaritans and vice versa. But it says that Jesus must go through Samaria. And it was because the Lord had a divine appointment to make. In Samaria, as we know, there was a woman there that was out at the well. And when Jesus arrived and his disciples went into the town to get food for them to eat, the woman at the well came out. She came out to draw water from the well all alone. And we know it was because she was alone because she was a social outcast. She was not a good living woman. Now we won't go into the whole story of the woman at the well, but what I want us to see is this, that was a divine appointment, and the Lord knew it was a divine appointment. That woman eventually came to believe in the Lord, and through her, the whole town, the whole village came to believe in the Lord. The Lord has divine appointments for us, and it's through those divine appointments people are going to come to know him. I'd like to share with you an experience that I had of a divine appointment. It was a very exciting one. It happened a number of years ago, but it is so real in my mind, I keep thinking of it often. It was at a time we had come back from Asia, and we were in Sydney, and we had a fellowship, and we had a Bible school, and I was teaching in the Bible school every day. And then at night we had meetings, and so I was at the Bible school teaching, then we had meetings at night, and so I said to the Lord one day, Lord, I'm with Christians all day long. I would like to see somebody, meet with somebody that needs to know you, Lord, that you've got ready to come to know you. And so I prayed and I said, Lord, give me a divine appointment. Let me meet up with someone. And so the next morning I felt really excited. I knew that there was someone that the Lord had ready, who had their heart ready to meet with him. And so after I'd taught in the Bible school and I had to go and pick up the children from school, I was driving down the main highway down the North Shore of Sydney, driving down the highway, and I was praying as I was going. I said, Lord, I'm picking up the children from school. I have to take them home, cook dinner, then go to a meeting. There's not much time left. Somewhere you've got somebody who's waiting to meet you, to come to know you. So I'm driving down the highway, and then I saw someone hitchhiking, a young man hitchhiking down the highway. Now, I had been taught by my mother, never pick up hitchhikers, and I don't advise anybody to pick up hitchhikers. But before I knew what I was doing, I had pulled the car over, opened the door, and in got this perfect stranger and sat in the car next to me. And I was so shocked at what I had just done, I kept on driving down the road, wondering, what on earth have I done? And then this young man said to me, I could sense he was feeling uncomfortable. He said to me, what do you do? And I thought, what a wonderful question. What an opportunity to share with him what I do. And so I told him how I teach in the Bible school. And as I told him that, he got so angry. He said, you don't believe in God, do you? And I said, I sure do. He said, why? Why do you believe in God? And so I began to tell him. And then suddenly he said to me, stop the car, I want to get out. And I pulled over the car, and he got out, and he was so angry, he slammed the door. And I drove on, and I thought that I had failed miserably. 10 years later, we were in a meeting, and a young man came up to me, and he said, do you remember me? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't. He said, you picked me up hitchhiking 10 years ago. And he said, you don't know what was happening to me, do you? And I said, no, please tell me. He said, I had just left my wife. He said, I had walked out of the house, I'd slammed the door, I was so angry, and I said, I'm never coming back. And he said, I left her because she had become a Christian, and all she would do was talk to me and tell me about Jesus, and I couldn't stand it anymore, so I walked out and I slammed the door. And he said, then I began hitchhiking down Pacific Highway, and you picked me up. And he said, all you did was go on and on talking about Jesus. And he said, I was so angry. And he said, I got out of that car and I looked up at the sky. And he said, after I calmed down, I said, well, God, if it means that much to you. And he went back to his wife, told her what had happened. She prayed with him, and he received the Lord, was born again, and he became a Christian. That is a divine appointment. And God has divine appointments for you. The Lord bless you.